What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Out of the Darkness. I am Q. So, we're about to jump back into the whistleblower interview. We are starting a brand new section. We're going to be talking about the torture portion of the section. So, if you're just now getting into this for the first time, no worries. We're going to start brand new section. So, we're starting fresh. You can always get back into it. You can go back and listen to previous episodes. But we're going to go ahead and jump into it. This is really compelling. This is the interview that was conducted with the whistleblower on behalf of Lynn Wood. Very compelling. You guys have been enjoying it, so we're going to keep on going. So the interviewer starts off by saying, okay, so this one's going to be a little bit more unpleasant for you. But can you get into some of what happened to you when you ran afoul of Rod Rosenstein and the Dirty Trick Squad and how they exacted their retribution on you? Interviewee: It was October in 2009. Obama had been in the White House not that long, but everything had switched. The information I was providing from the doctor and from other sources was beneficial. They loved it. Nobody had ever had that kind of access, especially a white Christian male. And it was fantastic. But when Obama came in, he switched it. Now it was being used against the country and to protect themselves. How their exposure happened. And they were arming terrorist groups for various reasons, allowing them to stockpile, allowing them to move money overseas to support terrorism. And I exposed it. I exposed my job. And then they came down on me. Rod sent Rosati and Oots, that's Gregory Oots, to arrest me. They claimed that a package had come from California that contained all manner of drugs in it: heroin, cocaine, everything. And they arrested me and incarcerated me, or arrested my wife, and they provided, there's a FedEx number for that one, for the package. And interviewer: Who? Who is this? You said Rosati. And interviewee: This was Joseph Rosati, the DEA, and his partner at the time, Gregory Oots, who was a task force officer with the DEA, formerly with Baltimore County Police in Maryland. And Rod sent them after me. These are his little henchmen. Interviewer: Had you been warned prior to this to lay off what you had been digging in, or did they just kind of blindside you with it? Interviewer: No, what I was digging on was provided to them for various cases: terrorist cases, finance cases, material support of the terrorist cases. But when it exposed them, there you go. And they were worried that I would talk, that I would tell them what was going on down there. So they sent a package set up in California, a big box with drugs in it. The FedEx number they provided was actually an overnight envelope, which wouldn't have held anything. It was a new patient packet from the doctor's office. He provided a receipt and a letter, everything. And they said they apprehended me when I came to the mailbox place to get another box. And the person at the mailbox place actually provided a statement saying they handed it to him like 4 hours before that. So they brought it. It was never in the mail. They provided a postal service tracking number for that one as well. Said that this box had come from California and that they received a call from the manager of the place too. The tracking number, if you actually tracked it, had never been in California. It was a real tracking number that Gregory Oots had used to send a packet from Maryland to the ATF in Georgia. That was his application for a suppressor that he still owns. And it was tracked all the way into the ATF because it was an official document. So, never in California. A total lie. There were no drugs in it. They said that there were pill bottles with pills, and the local police department logged them in as empty, and they found them in my apartment. So the local police were at least doing their job and covering it correctly. They tried to. I had firearms at the time. They took in two of the Colt firearms, the RF-15s, and right in the police station took a Dremel tool to the receiver, trying to say I had illegally modified a machine gun and more charges. And the police just went, these are feds. Narwatches was a smaller town. Narwatches was a smaller town police department at the time, and they started documenting it. They were taking pictures of everything too because they were protecting themselves. They weren't necessarily hurting or helping me, but they were protecting themselves. And when that didn't work, they had actually called their friend Borshak. Had Borshak come out and get the guns. This was just 2 weeks after the arrest. He came up, confiscated everything, took it downtown and destroyed it so they couldn't prove they had tried that. But they had me incarcerated in 2009, 2010 for 7.5 months. They starved me, they beat me. I lost 147 pounds in 4.5 months, over half my body weight. Regular beatings, regular torture. They would pick me up and then take me out on their authority. They would do it down the road, in the car, wherever, depending on what time they had. It got so bad that there were prisoners in there, and correctional officers were trying to help me survive. The warden actually stepped up and got in touch with the sheriff and said, "This can't continue." And on their authority, they tried to get me out, but the judge was controlled. Interviewer: Now, were they interrogating you during the course of these beatings, or was this just interviewee? No. It was interrogation. They wanted to know what I told them, what I had I ever made copies, where it was, what did I tell them about Baltimore, what was going on. That's what they were looking for. They went through my apartment. We had just moved. They went through the apartment in Baltimore County, and every single piece of paper in there, they had looked at it. And if it wasn't, it was ripped, so they couldn't tell they'd already checked it. So they could tell they'd already checked it. It looked like confetti. They were looking for codes. They were looking for access. Interviewer: Now, did you come clean with everything that they were looking for, or they just thought you had more, or were you trying to protect the information that you'd uncovered? Interviewee: They knew I had access to it because I was working with them in Baltimore, so they didn't want any of that coming out. They wanted to know if I had made copies, if I had recorded anything, because I make copies and recordings normally. They just wanted to know if I kept any. And they looked from, I even think they got into the safe deposit boxes. They tore up our other apartment when they arrested my wife. They kept her handcuffed, no food or water, for 23 hours, no warrant. They didn't apply for a warrant till the following day. So, yeah. Unknown female says, wow. Interviewer, imposing. So when you were being taken out of the jail, what county was that jail in? Interviewee, Baltimore County, Maryland. Interviewer, okay. So when you were being removed from the jail, you were being signed in and signed out? Uh-huh, by them, the interviewer says. Or interviewee says. Interviewer. So there's are there existing records of every time? Interviewee. Yeah. Interviewer. You were removed from jail. Interviewee. Oh, yeah. And when I came back, I was in such bad shape that they didn't want to sign me back in. They didn't want to be blamed for it. Interviewer. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. I don't want things to get too long. I know that you guys have limited time, but let me know what you guys think. Again, as I've said in all these videos, I am not condemning anyone. Every last one of these people need to be investigated. Every last one of these people need to have their day in court. But thank you guys. Thank you for the support. If you guys are still enjoying it, make sure you leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys next time. Have a fantastic day.